Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the WGLNA Season 2 Gold League for 2016. I'm your host, Christian Toma. To my left is David Williams. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube /WGLNA, and as always, follow us on Twitter @WGLNA so you guys can stay up to date on what's happening in the community around you.
Go ahead and check out battleviewer.com if you haven't already for that same Twitch chat you know and love, plus easy access to our YouTube, Twitter, match listings, match standings, and fantasy now that the regular season is well underway.
That's right, guys. So go over there to battleviewer.com and check it out. Now, before we kind of get into what happened the last time we were here, we're going to talk about a theme for the week, which is Battle Buddies. Battle Buddies. Now, this is kind of you maybe heard us say this a lot. This is when one tank HP shares with another, and why you would do this? Well, it's to get basically the maximum amount of fight out of your tank that you can. Now, David, Battle Buddies. This is a question that I actually kind of have for you. Is this something that has changed as World of Tanks has developed? Is it a system that people find new ways to do, or is it pretty much just like, all right, you share a shot, we share a shot? Or
it's a core feature of World of Tanks. It always has been. It's one of the most important things for people to get better at the game and to bring a friend and run the Battle Buddy system.
All right, guys. So, again, we're going to be going over Battle Buddies a lot this week, so make sure you guys know what's going on with that. Let's take a look at what happened the last time that you saw us back in 2015. Up first, we had Eclipse beating DNA 5-4, followed by Simp beating Yo 5-1. Third, Ping losing to Aquatic 3-5. And finally, end out the night, Simple Tankers beating 07 5-3. Some exciting matches indeed. Let's talk about these one at a time. First, Eclipse versus Ding. This is a battle that went back and forth kind of the entire night. Went to a tiebreaker. Started out in Ruinberg, went to 2-2. Then they moved on to Steps, where Eclipse went for the Northern Cap twice. It didn't work out for him, but they were really trying to get that. Finally, ended on Mines, where Ding and A did a really hard one-line push that just did not work out for him. Some of the things you saw from that first match.
I think Ding and A is looking very strong on Ruinberg in particular. They were trying some interesting new strategies involving a lot of tank destroyers on Ruinberg offense that didn't really pan out in the long run. I think if they hadn't have done those, they could have very well beaten Eclipse 3 or 4 times on Ruinberg alone.
Really?
Anyways, after we came through on Steps, both teams trading there as well. Like you said, moved into Mines where, unfortunately for Ding, Eclipse was just sitting there ready and waiting for exactly what Ding did, and that was pretty much game over right then and there. So a very close game and one bad decision.
All right, now up next we had Simp beating Yo 5-1. That one started out on Ruinberg. Simp picking up most of the victories there. Yo did pick up the one defense win, but then we went on to Cliff, and Simp just kind of cleared him out there. Some of the things you saw from that second match.
Simp's very strong on Ruinberg already. It's probably one of those maps you don't really want to play him on. They've always been pretty historically strong on it. And they took that 3-1. Yo was able to squeak one out on him. And then after that, like you said, they went to Cliff. And Yo's had a rough time on Cliff with a lot of the veteran teams. And it's just a hard map to play. I mean, it's one you can't simply just discuss and say you do this or you do that. The overall grand strategies just don't pan out. So still finding their legs there. But against teams that aren't so rehearsed, they do pretty well on Cliff.
All right. That was our second match. Up third, we had Aquatic beating Ping 5-3. Started out in Pro Rovka. Aquatic went 3-1 against them. And it was interesting because Ping did really well the last time we saw them on that map in particular. Then we went on to Steps. Aquatic picked up another victory, so it was 4-1. They just needed one more. Ping came back, won a couple, but finally Aquatic finished it out. Some of the things you saw from that third match.
Really, Aquatic is playing the best that they have all season long. And I think that this shows what could be a trend as time goes forward. But like you said, on Pro, they pretty much had it under control. They did the right rotations at the right times, and they won their small fights. And then when it came to Steps, like you said, it was a little bit more even. They pushed out of situations they didn't really need to. They brought artillery twice. The first time they brought artillery was great. They got a win out of it. And then after that, it's perhaps not the best
So
play.
one time, one-trick pony, and then don't bring it again. Well, that was our third match. And finally, the one we were actually really excited to see, Simple Tankers versus 07. This was the kind of the match we were saying, who's going to kind of come out on top. They're both kind of even teams. Started out on Pro Rovka, both winning, so it was going 2-2, and both of them won on offense, which is very interesting. Then we moved on to Himmelsdorf. They both picked up a victory, 3-3, but then Simple Tankers was able to pick up 2 victories in a row. Some of the things you saw from that fourth and final match.
Like you said, just a very even match all around. When it came down to it on Himmelsdorf, is where everything ended. Both teams were winning on their defenses, and they couldn't get that offense to work. But Simple Tankers won their offense in their last push.
That was the one they needed.
And just in general, Simple Tankers had an excellent play on Himmelsdorf. 07 did a good job on their defense. Simple Tankers struggled here and there. But as a whole, if you looked at those matches, Simple Tankers was doing better on Himmelsdorf all around. What it came down to is Simple Tankers going to the 1-2 line, trying to mix up the meta, leaving Coffee Thief in a medium up on the hill.
Gotcha.
Coffee Thief had free reign to shoot on everybody.
I remember
and
that.
07 was playing a very aggressive courtyard game, and it just didn't pan out.
All right, guys, so that's what happened last time. Before we get into tonight, we've got to remind you to go to fantasywgl.com. We have a fantasy that is, like David said, well underway from battlefield.com. Go over there right now at bottom right-hand corner. That'll pull up the fantasy where you build your 7 players on your team, and as they play, they accumulate points for you guys. Points lead to tons of prizes, so there's literally no reason not to go over there and do that. Also remind you that we're partnering with Vulcan this season for an even more opportunity to win more prizes. So go over to vulcan.com, code word World of Tanks for their own WGLNA competition. And again, just more opportunities for you guys to win. So now what you guys will be seeing on the bottom of your screen is David and I's picks for our fantasy for tonight's teams that are playing. And David, we do have High Voltage and Noble that are back. They're back over from China. So I'm assuming some of your changes, your picks might have switched up from them as they're gone. Ox Thief, I know, or Ox Mathis. Ox Thief is back in our top ones. Some of the things that you kind of switched up are your top players.
Well, Ox is back.
Yeah.
So he's my number 1 pick, hands down. He's also yours, I
Always.
believe.
Yep.
And then Dodema and Militant are also great picks. Was kind of debating on who my second pick for High Voltage is going to be, but with Duck Thief gone now, gonna go with Bird Thief over Blue Boys until somebody else steps up. But in today's matches, a lot of them are fairly even matches or good games. And we'll get to that here in a second. But when it comes to the picking strategy, you've got kind of a spread pick there where you're picking one person, kind of the all-stars from each team.
And we did that, and that was kind of what we did for last season.
Yes, and previous seasons with other formats, that definitely seemed to fit for me. But what I'm noticing more and more as this season goes on is that the team that wins tends to earn a lot more points. Whereas before, you could lose and still earn a good bit because you got your shots in. But it snowballs so quickly in the new format that when a team like High Voltage plays a team like Eclipse, you may say that Master Pupil should get a lot of damage in. And he could. But he could also get focus fired by High Voltage very early. So I'm just going to go with the team that I believe to win across the board. So obviously I weighted heavily towards High Voltage and Noble. And the standout game for me there is Ding versus Simple Tankers, where it really depends on which one of those teams shows up to play. They both play it up and down as the season goes on. Ding's kind of on a hot streak, and Simple Tankers, they usually take some time to get momentum. So I went an even pick on that one.
Well, speaking of the matches tonight, let's take a look at the 4 we've got for you guys. First, like David said, Simple Tankers versus DingNA, followed by Simp versus Noble. Excuse me, third, Yo versus Color Wanted, and finally Eclipse versus High Voltage. Now, David, out of the 4, which are you most excited to see?
That's tricky.
There's a lot of really fun plays.
I'm going to have to go with High Voltage versus Eclipse. Eclipse can play very well. High Voltage obviously plays very well.
Sure.
And without Duck Thief, I'm curious to see what they're going to do. If they're going to bring in KT from Team Refuse last season, Killer Tiger, who's now going by Tiger Thief.
So many
or who they're going to bring in and how well they'll do. Eclipse could rise to the challenge, or they could just get outmaneuvered by High Voltage. And that's just to be expected. High Voltage Noble play on a different tier than everybody else so far. Everybody else is trying to get there. So I'm interested to see if one of the leading teams for that position, Eclipse, can actually rise to that next tier during the season at all. And if they do it, it will have to be today.
Well, and I'm also excited to see both Noble and High Voltage that are back. It's always fun to watch them play, so I'm excited to see kind of maybe some of the things they learned from China they're going to bring over here. It might be a totally different team than we expected, but I'm actually really excited to see Simple Tankers versus Ding. Our first match, like you said, it's one that could possibly go the longest. I do love watching DingNA style, so I think it's just going to be a fun match. Let us know, ladies and gentlemen, which one you are most excited for, but that will do it for our pregame show. Thank you so much for joining us. Do not go anywhere. Match number 1 is coming right up.
X-Soldier. If they can take out one of those bat chats early, that'll be huge. Noble's doing a little bit of an adjustment here, not going to the outside. They're going to pour over the middle and try and focus on Fulcrus and Ajax. They are taking out Fulcrus, 406. Ajax, 813 damage gone. Ajax is almost dead, and he goes down to Germ. The rest of Noble starting to pour through. Yo's trying to collapse in him sideways. That is a good move. They can get under Militant and Dodema. Germ is isolated now. Fulcrus isolated as well. External trying to shot for that shot. X-Soldier's going to pick it up. Bobby trying to get another shot at External as Yo is trying to collapse in on External and Akula and take them down. X-Soldier is no longer an issue to them. He is reloading. Dodema and Canadian Impact coming in behind. Militant is reloading as well.
Making sure he is safe from any shots that can happen from the rest of Simp here. Over the prime, 355, 344 into Master Putin. Master getting aggressive, taking the shot over the prime, getting down pretty low. Let's see if he lets the shot go there. 344. If Master Putin can't end this one right now, over the prime should be able to pick this one up. The only way that Master Putin survives is by fail. No, Master is on the reload way before over the prime. His shot though misses right over the top. That's going to allow over the prime to come over, line up his shot. Going through, looks like Shimbo stepped on the cap just for a second. 612, 1,200 points of damage there. There's the Waffle coming in strong. Ladies and gentlemen, 2,300 points, finally finishing it off by himself. Shimbo, the Iceborne, going down. Super healthy up on top. Ox team is in trouble there. He's bouncing a lot of shots right there, giving time for wall hacks to come up and join the fight. First shot there going to Adroxus, and now we got a little bit of spread out of sight. It's Ryan. It's all facing up against Summer's high voltage over the south, the rest in the north there. Ox team looks like he's going to be going down. One more shot. Anthony going through. David, what are you seeing?
He's going hull down on the backside of wall hacks his ST1. That is just incredible. Ox is getting so much support.
The fallen tanks. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a very tight battle. This might be Yo's opportunity to pick up a victory on the high voltage. Will high voltage give it to him? Blue Boys captain onto Fulcros. That shot just now missing, and 318 goes into Blue Boys. Blue Boys is loaded. 358 going into him. A high roll here from Fulcros. Might be able to do 323. Now it's going to be back and forth. It looks like Blue Boys captain might be able to dig this one. No, the shot bounces, or he just missed it into the side, but Blue Boys bounces as well. A crazy battle here going back and forth, and Fulcros taking down Blue Boys. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the WGLNA Season 2 Gold League. I'm your host, Christian Toma. To my left, David Williams. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube /WGLNA. If you guys are watching this on battleviewer.com, go over there right now and check it out. And finally, follow us on Twitter @WGLNA so you guys can stay up to date on what's happening in the community around you and answer for us the question of the day.
Which is, who are your favorite battle buddies to watch?
Now, this is what I'm excited about. This is the fact that we're going over. This is something I don't really pay attention for when I'm casting. I'm not looking to see like, oh yeah, he shared that. That was so cool. So going back, watching Executives and Flak from Civil Tankers last time they were on Prorovka, up like just they were in the light tanks. They were doing the sharing HP, saving each other on the caps. So it was really fun to watch them. But I'm excited to watch as the night goes on to see maybe like, keep my eye out for some potential battle buddies. But what about you, David? Any ones that stick out to you?
There have been a lot who've kind of stuck out over the history of WGLNA.
Okay.
Most recently, I'm still kind of shopping for who my favorite will be, but in the past, people who you may be familiar with would be Blue Boys and Heavy 20. Now that Heavy's gone, it doesn't really work anymore. Yeah. But a long time ago, there was a time when they would both be in 1390s, and me and my battle buddy Soviet would go against him. So it was always just kind of a fun rivalry,
Sure.
and I used to enjoy watching everybody who played like that.
Awesome. Well, let us know, guys, what your favorite kind of battle blade pairs to look out for. And if you're not, that's something to keep in mind when we're watching the show tonight. See who are maybe your potential battle buddies to watch out for. Let's take a look at the standings now as we're entering 2016. Up top, Noble and High Voltage are still in first and second place, followed by Simple Tankers and Eclipse tied for third. We have a 3 tie for fourth between Simp, Caller, Wanted, and Yo there at 9 points. And then 07, Aquatic, M60's DNA, and the list goes on down from there. But now the big teams are back. I'm assuming because there's a few options in 2015 while they were gone to the WCA that maybe Simple Tankers or 07 can take first place. But now that they're back, I'm assuming probably might not be so easy, correct?
Well, it's not so easy. It's still possible.
Still
but
possible.
It's definitely not easy.
Still possible. They are still up there, so we will see them tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, our first match It's about to get underway. Simple Tankers versus DingNA. On the side of Simple Tankers, we've got J Smooth on the side of DingNA, Master Putin. Gentlemen, welcome to the new year. Welcome to the face-off. And J Smooth, and go ahead and start with you.
Привет.
I like
Привет.
Good evening, comrades.
Like the hat, indeed. Now, with your last match against 07, you guys seemed pretty evenly matched there, right up until Himmelsdorf. How did you guys as a team pull ahead in those final couple battles?
Well, I was just like you guys. I was viewing from the sideline. Santa Smooth had some issues getting stuff done for you guys, but the team played well. It just shows that with our compatibility that it seems like we've had someone missing every match. So we've always been able to step up and fill that void, and the guys did a great job on known calling and everyone helping each other out. It was good.
All right, well, congratulations on that victory.
All right, Jay
Thank you.
Smooth, who are your favorite battle buddies? Past, present, or future? And it can involve you.
No, me and Pub had some good ones when we were playing 5100s, but my favorite for Simple Tankers was Tokume.
Tofu and Zakumi.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tofu.
Yeah.
Gosh, I was like, why does that
Yeah.
sound so familiar?
That's a good one. They used to play
It was
IS3s,
Tokume.
T-32s,
Yeah.
stuff like that next to each other.
All right, we'll be excited to go back and kind of watch those. Jason, thank you so much. Master Putin, now over to you, sir. On the last time we saw you guys got so close to beating Eclipse there in the battle. What did you guys learn as a team, kind of going back and forth like that for that one match?
It was a good match. I don't know if we really learned anything. We stuck to our strategies, and it just didn't work out in the end. But I think it was overall a positive match for us.
All right. What do you think about J Smooth's hat?
Yeah, he's kind of making me look bad. I'm the Russian one here.
Oh, you're good. You're fine. It's all good.
Couldn't do it anymore.
There you go.
There it is.
Yes, sorry.
Switching it back.
It's all right.
Switching
It's all
it
right.
back.
Arnold there behind you is making every one of us look bad.
So
Yeah.
true. So true.
Bigger guns than any of your tanks. All right. So,
22s.
so who are your favorite battle buddies, past, present, or future?
Man, I used to play with the Godzilla mode and Young Money in #RU, and I think to this day they're the most fun to listen to when they play together.
Oh, that's true. That's one thing I get to miss out. We don't get to. We don't get to hear what they're talking about. But
Yeah,
which one.
different kinds of battle buddies, but we'll talk about that after we let these guys go.
All right. Before we get into the battle, Jay Smooth, is there anything you'd like to say to Master Putin?
Oh, of course. I just want to let everybody know that Papa Dijon will be playing catch up all night long.
No.
And in the words of Apollo Creed,
Oh.
ding ding, I'll see you in the danger zone.
All right. There we go, Master Putin. Your response.
Papa John is not the one you should be worried about.
All right. There we go. The shots have been fired.
I was really hoping for an "I must break you," but
Pull a little Rocky in there. Gentlemen, best of luck to both of you. We'll see you very shortly in the battle. And it's just always. I sometimes wish that we could just have a whole night of face-offs. Just a whole night of just meeting the players, talking to the teams. It's always fun to see those guys go. Now, David, before
that's like my entire history of playing tanks off of WGLNA is pretty much just
just that. This is like an amazing opportunity, amazing option. Let's pull the rosters between both of these teams here. David, maybe you can remind us, since it's been a little bit of a break, some of the highlight players.
Well, for Simple Tankers, that would be, previously it'd be a lot of Pub Whisperer, but not so much in the tier 10s. That's lately been Pride and Executives kind of leading the pack. And for DingNA, Putin and Papa, he calls him Papa John, but
Papa John, it's
clearly
it's
Papa
clearly
Dijon.
Papa Dijon. Now, he is going into this still the overall point leader, correct?
I think so.
I think
so,
yeah.
but not points per battle.
Right,
Which is
still Oxley, which is mind blowing to me. Now, looking at both these teams really quickly before we get in, similar play styles, different play styles as a team.
Well, they're kind of evenly matched in a lot of ways, but they do have somewhat of a difference in play style where DingNA is very strategic in what they do, and it's all kind of pre-planned.
Okay.
And Simple Tankers doesn't really do that, but their team cohesion is great.
Huh.
And DingNA is still working on their team cohesion. But
Interesting.
overall, I'd say DingNA is one of the most improved teams I've ever seen play in this period of time.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll see if they can continue their improvement, ladies and gentlemen, as our first battle is about to get underway. It is Simple Tankers versus DingNA, starting out on steps. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
First tanks of 2016. Simple Tankers with an IS-7, an Action X, a 140, a 907, two T-22s, and an RU-251. Ding NA with two E5s, a Bat Chat, a 140, an STB, and two M46 patents, which will be intriguing on this map.
That's the thing about Ding NA. That's why I love watching their play style. It seems like they usually bring pairs of tanks that just aren't, they like experimenting, which is I really commend them for
You
sure.
know, the meta is the meta for a lot of good reasons, but that doesn't necessarily mean it can't change or that other things can't really take people off guard. And that is what Ding NA does best, what those strategies are intended to do. You could see the two M46s, and in some ways, if you see them in the same place, they're kind of scary because their DPM is not bad at all.
Okay.
For tier 9s, they're pretty good tanks, but you should be able to kind of penetrate their turret fairly easily at tier 10. But Ding NA is already flexing over the north, which you've seen him do before, and that is why J-Smooth is out there leading in his RU-251, looking for exactly this kind of thing. And it looks as though they are just now getting spots on each other. So J-Smooth and some of the other players seeing some of where Ding NA is and getting one shot out on a Romstar's patent. That turret is not strong enough to stop T-22 shot.
All right, Flag taking a little bit of damage there as well, though, in the T-22. So a little bit good exchange, about 300, a little more than 300, kind of going back and forth. But this is very interesting. Again, we're seeing Ding NA on defense be very aggressive here on steps. They're now pushing Simple Tankers back into their spawn. And this again, I feel like when we watch Ding NA play, we see battles on parts of the map that we just never see battles fought before. It's so interesting to kind of get them out. Now, when you kind of experience this as a team, David, if you see a team doing something that's just not normal, can this really fluster you as either a shot caller or
It can. And actually the most frustrating part is when it doesn't immediately make sense to you. This does make sense. So the answer that you need to do next, or the moves that you need to make, are pretty obvious for Simple Tankers, but that's something that Ding NA can control. They're denying the one cap, forcing Simple Tankers to rotate someplace else, and then they just rotate on their own time, and they're going to deny them there. If they do this perfectly side to side, and Simple Tankers just rotates blindly back and forth, they will eventually just run the clock out, getting stuffed each place they go. Right now, Ding NA's hoping that Simple Tankers will come over here to try and set up this trap, and hopefully for them, they've got some sort of plan to where they're going to make that work for them, because this is a tricky place with the medium and Executus' spot where he is right now. But perhaps this is where we'll see the patents come into play. Try and create a head-to-head battle. The two patents with their depression there, although Romstar's taking 302, who's continuously taking more and more damage from Executus. If they can't take him out from there or create a head-to-head battle in favorable DPM per HP soon, Simple Tankers will take this from him on their first offense.
A lot of cap pressure. They're going out for Simple Tankers here on the Eastern Cap. A lot of damage, though, going off Flak, taking 445 there in that T-22. Jan Toronto, a player that we actually haven't seen a lot there for Ding NA, taking some shots to Publisher, running all the way through, dropping down well below half health, and the battle for the Eastern Cap has begun. Executus taking so much damage, 789, but the first one to go down is going to be Scooper there. Picking up a kill is Scooper, the M46 patent. J-Smooth taking some 10. Flashland, Papajan, a double kill. And that is now 4 tanks remaining for Simple Tankers. 6 still for Ding NA, up right on the cap. Unknown one. Over 1,100 points of damage there coming out against the defense. Steinpride does pick up Scooper, but Darth Vader taking out Unknown one. And that is just going to leave Coffee Thief, Steinpride, and J-Smooth alive for Simple Tankers. J-Smooth is kind of sitting back there in that RU-251. Pride getting surrounded now by Ding NA, Papajan, Flashland, and Darth Vader all knocking on his door. 364 damage, 752. He backs out. Flashland taking him down there. And now it looks like Ding NA possibly, that trap worked out extremely well from Coffee Thief and J-Smooth are the only ones who are alive. There are some members for Ding NA who are hurt. Papa Dijon taking 396 there, but not a lot. They just push onto Simple Tankers. They should be good here. 4 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock. Coffee Thief going down. It's just coming to J-Smooth to run. He is on offense, so there's not much he can do. David, if you're right now Simple Tankers, what's going through your mind? Obviously, you're in a good position. It looked like you pulled Ding NA to you, but Ding NA just kind of took it to him.
What should be going through their mind is how to play the next match. At this point, there's no real use in trying to deconstruct what happened. They probably already know. They didn't win the fight. And it sounds simple. It sounds kind of like a sarcastic answer. But that is really what happened there. They got pushed into awkward positions, and when it came to a head-to-head, they didn't have the positions they needed to win it, even though Executive stayed alive quite a long time. Ding NA just decided they were going to take that damage from Executus and rotate some around to where they could get a better fight with everybody else. And that is That's a good way of playing the eastern side. Right now, Simple Tankers did everything that WGLNA wanted them to do in this match, and it is looking like a good start for Ding in 2016.
All right, here now that's something I'm glad you pointed that out. The spot that Executives is in, we've seen so many. You know, really trips up a lot of teams. They're trying to spend a lot to take out that tank up in the hill. We call it the Dryness spot, but it's interesting to see a team go, all right, yeah, he's up there. Let's not even worry about him. Let's take the damage and find somewhere else. J Smooth 446 getting tracked there. 86, 1,000. Papadejan is going to finish him off. That is going to be WGLNA with the first victory of 2016. That's a huge label. That's a good label to put on yourself. The first victory of 2016. They're going over there. But David, kind of like you said, just a very simple yet, you know, kind of answer you wouldn't want to spend too much time on thinking of your Simple Tankers. They lost the fight. Don't worry about it. Just kind of, you know, come at it again. Now with WGLNA, with that initial push there in the north, kind of driving extremely aggressively to stop anything that Simple Tankers was doing. If Simple Tankers were to stop and fight there, do you think that would have been a better place to fight than over on the cap, or was it good what Simple Tankers did? Or just just a generally smart move?
What I would say is if you can actually lock that particular position of combat, and then make sure the east is relatively clear and spread out all along underneath that ridge, kind of directly where Simple Tankers stopped. We've talked about the flats before, and it kind of has a ridge and rocks on either side.
Yeah.
If you take the southern side of those rocks
Okay.
in the northern side, you can actually bottle the enemy team up into the north, keep them there from better position, and then cap in the east. So you could send two
So
tanks
send a
over
couple
there
to do
and
that.
everybody else.
Gotcha.
That's probably what I would favor, but there's a lot of counters for that on offense. It's not an objectively easy thing to talk about. But we can take a look at stats while we got time.
Stats for 2016.
And we have Coffee Thief leading Simple Tankers with 3967 in his Action X. It's impressive. Got a lot of damage in, obviously. A lot of room to shoot. And Executive's actually getting in a lot less than I expected. Only 4 of those shots penetrating for 1253. Not necessarily going to say that's everything, as you could see a lot of those players really got caught out.
Yeah.
4,
Wow.
WGLNA, Darth Vader
Darth
taking
Vader.
number 1. And an E5 with 3678. He's one of the harder targets to shoot with a Patents. Patents being these targets that you can't ignore, but that you can penetrate through the turrets, so they're great distractions overall. And before we get out of there, Papadejan and his STB with 2266 and 3 kills.
Now, sorry. Oh, so now talking about those patents, did you see them used exactly how you thought they'd be used there for WGLNA?
More or less. I mean,
Okay.
it's kind of hard to use them wrong as long as they're in the fight. Because like I said, you can't ignore them because they can get easy shots on you, but they're because of their depression. But their turret it's not large and it's not necessarily small, but it's got a very small silhouette when it pokes over a hill and shoots at you. We can talk about this a little bit more, so we're going to get into the battle here. in
That's
just a
right. Ladies and gentlemen, WGLNA is up 1-0 against Simple Tankers. We've switched sides. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
Simple Tankers with 2 E5s, a 140, an STB, a T22, an AMX-30, and a Skoda T50 for Ding, an IS-4, 2 Bad Shats, 2 140s, an STB, and an AMX-1390. We should see, I would expect, something rather aggressive coming out of WGLNA to start this off. That IS-4 is going to be a backstop for something in the north. Wouldn't surprise me if they kind of leave him somewhere as kind of a forward guard or something that Simple Tankers can't really swarm very easily, or that if you just push on him with inferior numbers, sorry, slightly superior numbers, like 1 or 2, he's going to cost more than he should. You see
The boost didn't
failed
quite,
boost.
boost not quite working out there for the Simple Tankers. Oh, man. It's not going to feel good.
Nope. Anyways, so we get back to the patents. They're going to have shots. That's the thing about a patent that makes it a priority target in some ways.
Okay.
Because it's just too easy for him to peek over a hill and fire.
And take a
Where
shot.
tanks with lower depression, they have to commit more. They're less of a concern. They don't put out as much damage per shot, that kind of thing. But if you start shooting at the patent, you're not doing damage to something like an E5, something that's going to be a big deal. So it's a great tank for a lot of reasons. And the finesse points, all the little details of why it works on a map like this are a bit too complicated to really discuss just in an abstract setting.
Sure,
So we'll have to wait more until we can get a really good camera shot of one of them kind of working, or a situation where he's either ignored or focused, and what that means for everybody else.
Great. I can't wait to talk about that when we see it. Now, looking at here, look at where the bat chat is for WGLNA down there in the K7 position. very spread DNA is over almost the entire map. At least the northern half of the map, they are very spread out. Looks like they're not totally committing for the northern. A nice shot there going into Ramsar from Publisper. He wasn't even, it didn't look like he was spotted there. Just take the shot in that 1390. They connecting. That's got to be very unfortunate there for Ramsar. Flashland being caught out too. We're talking about the northern cap here on this map. It's just so hard to take, especially with tier 10. A larger view range there coming out from a lot of these tanks. Looking where DNA is set up, what do you think they're waiting for Simple Tankers?
I don't think they're necessarily waiting for anything for Simple Tankers.
Okay.
They are just running their stages of offense, which we've talked about a couple different times. They're one of those kinds of teams. So they're moving to positions, covering each other as they move forward. Bounding is what it's called sometimes. But Flashland in his IS-4 has moved all the way up to kind of the A4-5 spot. So he is going to be a problem that can hit against that berm in the northern side at A6 and shoot tanks in the side of the turret. And if they come try and deal with him, he can bounce a lot. He's just a problem.
Oh, great.
And that is what WGLNA is shooting for here. Creating situations that Simple Tankers can't deal with easily so that they can out-rotate them and outplay them in individual play.
All right, we'll see if that works out for them right now as cap pressure is being applied by Ramsar in that 1390. 83 seconds on the clock there for the northern cap. You still have the object 140 there in the bat chat, waiting back, making sure everyone's popping out. A little bit of people being spotted there. The other object 140 driven by Scooper, taking a shot, 384, right down in the center. Meanwhile, the rest of Simple Tankers just doing a very classic defense over here in the Northern Valley, just kind of spread out, waiting for that cap to build up, get to a point. They just pop to the top, take the shot, and pop back down. And no one looks like he's going to go for it now. He is being spotted out. His shot goes through, missing Darth Vader with a nice shot there. Now the Flash on David is spotted out in that IS-4 for WGLNA. Do you think Simple Tankers is going to look at that and have to deal with that? Are they going to really commit for that? Or are they just going to go, all right, we got to ignore him as WGLNA putting another member on cap. They're pushing it down to 20 seconds now.
Looks like Simple Tankers are going to try and swarm him here. This didn't work out for him, or a lot of teams have tried it in the past, so we'll see if it works this time.
All right, right now they're about to go over the railroad tracks. The shots are going across. It looks like they're going head-to-head against Flashland. 389 points of damage are going on to him. Publisher taking 291, and now Flashland getting surrounded. So much damage going to the cap. They get the reset. It was just down to 10 seconds, now to 6. They need to focus both on the cap and the enemies around them. Now the good reset's going through. It looks like Simple Tankers might have neutralized the base. Flashland will be going down, though. Pride picking it up there in the IS-4. Publisher going down just barely above half health on T22, and no one picks up Jan Toronto in that object 140. A 1-for-1 exchange, but Pride finds Romstar. Scooper goes down to J Smooth, and now just 3 members remain for WGLNA. It looks like that push that doesn't really work out for a lot of members worked out for Simple Tankers beautifully. Darth Vader now on top of the hill, getting surrounded. 749 going into him. Pub Whisper, it's one more shot away. It looks like Darth is holding a shot, trying to get him, but Executive is getting lit up there. A little bit of focus fire there from Master Putin, Papa Dejan. But finally, Executive is going to take down Darth Vader, leaving just Master and Papa Dejan alive in those 2 bat chats. Not much that those 2 tanks, I'm pretty sure nothing they can do against still 7 members of Simple Tankers who are on the defense. Just a really well executed push coming out for the defensive team.
A lot of great shots coming out of the defensive team, Simple Tankers there in particular. I did not see great shooting coming out of WGLNA. They had good angles, but they didn't make them count. They allowed themselves to get reset. The cap pressure they put on wasn't necessarily worth it. Simple Tankers got so much damage on them that didn't necessarily look like they had good shots on. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'd have to be able to go back and do a replay and look at that very closely. Or we can take a look at stats and see if that tells us anything in particular. But from what I saw, WGLNA had to have bounced or missed a lot of shots, and Simple Tankers probably penetrated almost every single shot they took.
A little bit of one-on-one going between Executives and Master Putin. One more shot, and he might be able to take on 140. A nice cleanup there coming out for Master Putin in that bad chat. But now that Simple Tankers knows where he is, they're coming over. Publisher going through. Master sees him. He wants to take him down as well. He's going to pick up another tank before he falls, getting 468 points of damage onto Coffee Thief there right before he goes down. A fantastic show coming up for Master Putin there. Papa John getting chased down by J Smooth, and that is going to be Simple Tanker picking up a victory now. And now it's tied up, all tied up 1-1. David, this is the match we're talking about. Has the potential of going the longest. Both these teams, very well skilled players. Opposite as far as kind of their style, but close in their player skill and some kind of cohesion. We're talking about that. But looking at stats, was there anything in there that kind of told the story of why that push worked so well for Simple Tankers?
Well, it'll take some time to really kind of break them down, but we can try.
All right, let's try it out. We got a little bit of time.
Well, the damage is pretty obvious. Pride and Darth Vader standing out the most. So far, Darth Vader 2 for 2, taking the lead on his team. So let's see here. See, mostly penetrating shots for Simple Tankers here. Most of the shots that they're hitting are penetrating within 1 or 2.
Okay.
Mostly 1. And then here for WGLNA, got 2 bounces, 2 bounces, 1390. 1390 didn't get any shots. 0 for 5 out of the 140. And Flashland didn't. There you go. A lot of people did not penetrate any shots for damage. When you got 3 zeros on the board, it's just hard to make it back up. And Scoopera, I mean, even though Scoopera had 2 shots that penetrated, it looks like one was a kill shot or so. No, actually, those numbers make sense. 596, only 2 shots out of 140. It's just, it's what we thought.
Yeah. Oh, but they did get really close to the cap. I mean, they got down to, for a moment, at least for a second, I mean, maybe 6 seconds or maybe even closer there. But again, the quick cap just not quite working. Simple Tankers doing the aggressive push too early. It was interesting to see they pull Simple Tankers barreled over the northern railroad tracks, turning their turrets, not even worrying about I think Darth Vader and the other member who was over on the side of the IS-4, and it still got the resets and then picked up those tanks, which was absolutely fantastic for them. So a good victory coming out for Simple Tankers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready for our 3rd battle of the first match of the night. It's all tied up 1-1. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
For Simple Tankers, an IS-7 and E5, an Action X, a 140 at STB, a T-22, and an AMX 1390. For WGLNA, 2 E5s, a Bad Shot, a 140 and STB, and 2 M46 patents.
Those patents.
Again. So it looks like, if my memory serves, we're running the same lineups as we had from the first game. And we'll see if WGLNA's general philosophy on this map is to rotate into Northwest to deny it, or if that's just something they bring out every once in a while.
Yeah, it looks like that is not what they're doing right now, is they're moving most of their members away from the north here.
That is correct. You know, we can get some camera shots on this. Or we can pop to... Well, nope, they're going to try and boost. Why don't you stay on that?
Going for the boost. Can bring flashing up there in that 140. Now, David, you know, looking at kind of the setup of the WGLNA, is the 140 the best? You think the best option for them to get up on top there?
That's a tricky question. I don't know enough about boosting at tier 10 to answer that.
Gotcha.
It may be that a lot of the better tanks, in terms of armor configuration and whatnot, you're not able to pick them up with other tanks. They may not boost well. They may not climb well. There could be any number of things that make other tanks less viable.
Gotcha.
But the 140 is a great tank. So
sure, why not?
Sure. It could very well be the best one up there.
there.
It could be a preference, or just could be the best one that you can actually lift.
Here's the thing. They did successfully boost.
Well, there you go.
So that's 1 up right now against the defense.
That's going to make the 1 cap a lot more difficult for Simple Tankers. Simple Tankers doing it kind of stage by stage here, starting to rotate their force of mediums over the rail line. And it looks like they're going to pause here for just a second to make sure it is safe. The angle they're looking at, more or less. Most of that's just to make sure they're not being spotted. Obviously, they'll know very quickly if they saw something else, but with the delay in spotting system in the Sixth Sense, you don't necessarily know if you are spotted until you give it a second. So they're just poking, seeing if they were spotted. Now they're going to roll over here, pushing an IS-7 all the way up, which seems to be kind of a common meta for a lot of the teams that are playing this northern side, as they're taking an IS-7 and IS-4, something strong, something with better armor, and they're pushing it all the way up to A5. Which serves a couple different purposes. They get good vision, so they can spot a lot of the tanks that need to pop up and over, giving other tanks better shots.
Okay.
And it's also just a very short distance to go at the enemy team from there. So in the event that you do need to play a push-up, you already have a tank that can kind of breach that first barrier, get up uncomfortably close, and deny other people from peeking over that berm to shoot at the rest of your tanks that come in, because they'll get shot at least once inside. Now, the best answer there, if a lot of tanks are driving at you and there's one on your side, is to take the shot from the side and focus on the ones in the open.
Okay.
But psychologically, people just don't like taking damage. So it works, even though strategically it's not necessarily perfect.
All right.
But
makes sense. It makes
there could be another goal here. They could be trying to get people to come up and over after the IS-7 and then swing some mediums in behind him and damage anybody who does, kind of like Simple Tankers did last time. They came up and over. If you set a trap for that, it can work. We've seen it work in the past. But either way, Unknown One's going to move up. It looks like Simple Tankers will be focusing more on the cap pressure itself, and Flashland now gets to actually play the game from where he is. Getting some shots up on top, and that's going to force Unknown One to back down, and his position is somewhat irrelevant now, as Flashland can very easily get shots on here. And going in a head-to-head where Unknown One is now, positionally and health-wise, not necessarily the best idea.
A little bit of damage there going to Flashland, but not much in that 140. Unknown One taking over 800 points of damage in that IS-7. 60 seconds on the clock. We have Jay Smooth applying that cap pressure on the north here. It's the #1 cap you guys see in the mini-map. Bottom right-hand corner of your guys' screen. Another shot there going on to Jan Toronto in that E5, but I'm not sure what. I guess they're just going to wait for the cap to get a little more in danger. No, J Smooth actually just going to bail right off the cap. It looks like Simple Tankers are not going to want to focus on the cap. Maybe they saw some positions they just weren't comfortable with. They're sure this isn't going to work out. And David, again, kind of talking about this is the second time it looks like Simple Tankers have, in the middle of what they were going to do, have decided to turn around and do something completely different. They're now sending the 1390, the Object 140, the Centurion AX, and the STB-1 all the way back down toward the southern corner. And do you think they're just going to wrap around here? And it looks like they might just be going for the eastern cap?
Well, they could be trying to catch either WGLNA rotating. WGLNA does rotate quite a bit here into the south, kind of like they're doing right now. So this could be either Simple Tankers being fully prepared for their opponent and trying to get the drop on these two mediums for a free pick, or this could be part of their own philosophy about putting on cap pressure in the north and then trying to rotate around the side to get better angles. Either way, both teams essentially doing the same thing. Whether their Simple Tankers knows and is going for what WGLNA is doing is the question.
All right, Jason now being spotted out in the south, so WGLNA might be able to. A nice shot there going at him, 394 points of damage in that 1390, and Master Putin now going head-to-head against Executus and Coffee Thief. It looks like it's going to be a 2-on-4, so WGLNA is going to start running out of there. Master Putin taking a little bit of damage on the retreat. Scooper getting out as quick as he can as well. Meanwhile, up in the north, Ramsar and the M46 Patton taking 818 points of damage there, getting surrounded. It looks like a shot from no one, a shot from the left, from the right, from straight on. He might be going down. A couple more, 399, and finally Flack is going to pick him up there in that E5. A nice focus fire there coming out for Simple Tankers, and that is one tank down for WGLNA. We'll see if Simple Tankers now uses the push. Coffee Thief, though, getting lit up by Master Putin down the south, and that is a Centurion AX gone. For Simple Tankers, a 1-for-1 exchange here. Steinpride taking so much damage as well. Meanwhile, Executus in that 148 taking some shots. 782, he gets dropped down to Steinpride. 321 points of damage onto him as well. Darth Vader looks like he's going to pop up, take the shot, and that's going to be Flashland finishing off that STB-1. Unknown One has to be careful as well. 408 points of damage are going into him. 530 into Jan Toronto. Flat coming around from the side, but Papa DeJean taking down Executus, and now just 4 tanks remain for Simple Tankers against 6 for WGLNA. Pub Whisperer going head-to-head against Jan Toronto and Darth Vader with Flack to help him out. They take down Darth Vader in that E5, but Unknown One goes down. A nice shot there from Jan Toronto. J Smooth during the circling. Jan Toronto looks like he can't keep his turret up in time. He's not going to be able to get a shot on Will. He is. He does. 423 goes into J Smooth. The Pub Whisperer is going to finish him off there, and now 4 tanks for WGLNA against 3 for Simple Tankers. J Smooth, though, is 1 more shot away. Pub Whisperer taking a shot from Flashman on top and from the back from that bat chat. And while the M46 Patton coming up the center road, J Smooth on the run. Looks like he might be on the reloading too, as that 1390 only has, how much, 19 points of HP. Pub Whisperer not looks like he's going to get out there. Scooper takes down J Smooth before he can get anywhere. Flack going down to Papa DeJean with the beautiful ram damage. And finally, it's just going to be Pub Whisperer here. Looks like he's going to go head-to-head with Scooper. Scooper stops, looks for the shot, takes the shot, and that is going to be a nice cleanup there. WGLNA finding their second victory on defense, on the steps for our first match of the night. This is WGLNA seems like they're doing a very good job kind of pushing their opponent into where kind of the fight that they want. And Flashland, was it, in that 140 up on top of the hill, did so much work. He was just able to pick off shot after shot after shot.
Living the dream.
Can't wait to see the stats.
And his repositioning a couple different times was perfect
Really?
for what he needed to do in order to make sure he could stay alive as long as possible. Some people don't do that. They just get focus fired out pretty quickly.
Good for
where
him.
He was, but he did a great job.
Woo.
And we can check out how great on the statistics page.
Let's do it.
Maybe. There it is, 36-10. 30 shots overall, 17 out, 12 penetrated.
Wow.
Which I can't really rule from there. I mean, who knows whether those shots were even easy to hit shots, right? He could have been trying to hit the upper front plate of an IS-7 while it was twisting around. But who knows?
36.
But either way, it worked.
So good.
Obviously, a rough spot for Simple Takers to fight. Putin coming in right behind that with 21.71. You can see the rest of the numbers. I'm not going to read them all out to you. But let's check out for Simple Tankers. It was Flak with 29.79 overall.
12 shots.
Most of the rest of the team just skirting around that magical 1,500 number that we talked about.
Yeah.
Just a lot of good momentary decisions, like snap calling, basically, from WGLNA there, where the medium's pushing in for Simple Tankers, coming in across the south. We're able to get a pick in the north when they focused across the flats.
Okay.
You remember what I'm talking about? So essentially, their two prongs were united on one target. And during this period of time, WGLNA realized they were going to lose somebody. They needed to make that up by getting somebody else. So while those tanks for Simple Tankers in the south were rolling across, WGLNA ran, grabbed another tank, turned around, came back,
even
caught somebody
stronger.
dead to rights in the open,
Dang.
took down two mediums very quickly. And from there, it was largely in their hands, not to mention the rest of the fight was going on exactly where
In the
Flash
north.
wanted it
Yeah,
to.
he's like, we're all fighting around where I'm at. Great. This
So-
is good for me. Well, that is the second victory for WGLNA. Let's get right into our fourth battle now to see if Simple Takers can tie it up, or will WGLNA continue their victories? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
For all intents and purposes, nearly perfect execution for WGLNA there. Simple Tankers with two E5s, a 140, an STB, a T22, an AMX-30, and a Skoda. Ding with an IS-4, two bad shots, two 140s, an STB, and an AMX-1390.
Oh, again, just talking again about what we just saw WGLNA do last time. Again, when you have, you're going to be losing a tank, right? And you just accept that. And that's something that I find so commendable. Here we go. Simple Tankers trying the boost again. What do you think, guys? Will they make it? Will Simple Tankers be able to get up there? I think they can. I think they can. I think they can. I think they can. I know they can. I know they can. Will they be able to? And it looks like, yes, maybe. Copy Thief. Yeah, Copy Thief is up there. A successful boost there coming out for Simple Tankers. But the question is, will WGLNA fight over there or not? See if he can be. See if Copy Thief can rack up as much points as Flashland did that last time. But anyway, going back to what I was saying about WGLNA is something that's so hard for me when I'm playing is looking at kind of the team, looking at what's going on, and seeing, oh, we're losing it, and instead of being reactive to that, of going, oh, let's go help now. We're losing a guy, let's go help out. Really going, all right, we're gonna lose a guy. Let's then find another way to come back even stronger. And that's just something that I feel is like so amazing that these teams can look at, can decipher, and like you said, just great snap calls coming out for WGLNA.
It's rare for an isolation to appear on your team, where the enemy team can get a pick very easily, where there isn't a similar isolation on the other team.
Sure.
And if you get in that position, you have made big mistakes. So a lot of teams will be able to identify and find those picks. It's not an easy thing to do, and there's always a certain kind of nervousness behind it, where you wonder if that's actually a trap, because some of the best teams will do that. They will
make you think,
have something that looks good,
scary,
and try and get you to take it. Or, as a general kind of philosophy, when they get a pick, some teams tighten up their defenses at that point. They don't keep playing fast and loose in multiple places. They start playing protective with anything that is exposed at that point, to guarantee that they keep that one tank lead.
Okay.
And in the modern formats, there's not really a problem with that, unless you're giving up some vital map control. In the past, in other formats, you couldn't really do it. You had to just keep playing.
But
But
all right, it's got kind of.
thankfully,
do
things
this.
are the way they are now. And if you get that pick, you can kind of tighten up and reassess as long as you got the right amount of time. And no harm, no foul.
Now, David, a question. How hard would it be for a team, obviously probably coming from the offense, to get up over the railroad tracks in the north with most of their tanks and not be spotted?
From...
Well, just coming, maybe like, coming up the 1-2 line as most teams do.
Almost impossible.
Really? Okay.
Realistically. But we're going to get another stage dive here on Flashland's
There we
Eyes.
go. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a deja vu coming out here with the shot. Pub Whisperer knocking over a tree first. Flashland taking a shot there. 338, but Pub Whisperer taking a lot more damage this time. Let's see if WGLNA has learned their lesson, or will Simple Takers, look at that, Flashland himself, the S4, blocking two tanks, Pride taking tons of damage because of it, and Pub Whisperer looks like he might be going down too. Flashland finally backing off there. He can only hold it for so long, and Coffee Thief going to be the final a nail in the coffin for that IS-4, but that is going to allow a lot of damage going on to the Simple Tankers. 9,500 points of damage overall as far as their HP goes against the 8,700 for WGLNA. Darth Vader now in the ST1. It looks like it might be up to him to kind of stall out Simple Tankers even longer. If he can get a pick on Pub, if he can find Pride, be a fantastic pick up there. Indeed, Pride taking down Pup Whisperer. That is so unfortunate. It looks like his teammate was I mean, that's like the opposite of Battle Buddies there. Papa John taking down Pride. Executive kind of stopping in his tracks now because of what just happened. Jan Toronto picking up Executives. Unknown one did make it over the side, but he took a lot of damage for it. Master Putin, meanwhile, just doing so much damage to J Smooth there. The Bat Chat versus the Skoda. He's going to go in for the Ram. No, he just down misses it. Darth Vader finds Black. Master Putin takes on J Smooth right before Coffee Thief takes him out himself. But now Coffee Thief is going to come down off of that hill. Oh, so unfortunate there. So unfortunate.
Putin going for style points. Goes 1v like 5
He's
to
like,
pick up a kill.
They killed the guy? We're good. Oh, here goes. And the rest of WGLNA now, knowing where Unknown One is, they're just going to go down, barrel down in position. Screwback going to the top. Darth Vader taking the shot. Unknown One, 671 points of damage. Unknown One does find Darth Vader. Screwback taking him down. It's just Coffee Thief and that AMX-30 alive against 4 members. And this is going to be WGLNA's victory here for our 4th match, making it 3-1 here. Coffee Thief, one more shot. Looks like Romstar might come try and take it. No, Papa Dejan. He's going to give it to him, rightfully so. And that is going to be WGLNA's 3rd victory of the night as we end out steps for them. Oh, man, that was so hard to watch. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's good. The theme is Battle Buddies. The theme is, you know, kind of sharing HP for your team. And we get to see what not to do in that situation, which is shoot and kill your own teammate. I mean, this is unfortunate. It's just super unfortunate what happened there.
Yeah. I'll say this, though.
Yeah.
They were all dead no matter what.
Sure, I mean, the stuff in the IS-4, Flashing, killing it. Absolutely.
The team kill, irrelevant. They were all dead. With where WGLNA was going, with the block that they made, just I would treat WGLNA with more respect than that. But this can get you in trouble. I've lost games where I've looked at where that's happened. Kind of the IS-4's been there. Okay. And you're like, dude, they let us kill that last time. There's no way it's not a trap. Right?
We'll just do it again.
And then you make some other mistake. And you go back and watch the replay, and you're like, no, it was there. It was wide open. But with WGLNA at this point in time with this game, I would not. I would have been like, no. We're going anywhere besides that IS-4.
Find a way to do it again. That block. He stopped.
Let's go to stats.
Let's stats. We can talk about this later. Woo!
Papa Dijon, 36-79 in his Bat Chat. That's 2 clips. 2 clips, more than 2 clips. It's almost 3.
Wow.
Scoopra with 2,000. Jan Toronto with 2,000. Darth Vader with 2,000. Just a ton of damage overall there. And Simple Tankers not even finding really those avenues in there. I mean, even the IS-4, which mostly lived just a block, made up for last time. 1,000 and only 2 shots.
Again, kind of going back, looking at what Flashland did. I mean, he himself just stopped 2 tanks up on top of the hill, or up on top of the up the railroad track, which allowed WGLNA to just light them up all day. Finally, by the time they got through,
that's how that position is supposed to work.
So
we look at a lot of the strategy stuff sometimes from our perspective, and it's even hard for me because I don't play actively anymore, and these are little nuances that teams know, right? So, we're getting a battle that's going to start here. So we'll have to come back to
it in a second. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, WGLNA is up 3-1 against Simple Tankers. Now moving on to Prohorovka. Let's get right into it and take a look at now what we've got for attacks.
Simple Tankers with 2 IS-7s at a 140, 2 STBs, a T-22 and an RE-251. Ding with an IS-7 a Bat Chat, a 142 STBs and 2 M46 patents. Again, looks like they're really loving the patents.
Like the
I wonder if they're going to start a new meta there. I love it because I love the patent.
All right.
Anyways, so what we're talking about with the IS-4. We could look at it from our perspective, and sometimes we think, well, it didn't work last time. Why would they do it again? Or, of course that guy's going to die. He's isolated, and that kind of thing, right? But as the team, what they look at is to like, well, this one guy didn't do the little nuance that he's supposed to do in a spot where he's supposed to get a block there.
Sure.
And frontally block the first tank.
So like that's what should have happened the first time.
Or perhaps he was trying to go style points and get a first shot track shot when they came over. And it didn't work.
Really ruin him.
And you say he did it 9 times out of 10 in practice, and it didn't work this time, and the whole strat decomposed. So then this time around, WGLNA was like, just physically block him. You can die, it's fine, but you have to get the block. So little things that to us look like big strategic errors. And then it turns out it's just one little moment.
Didn't go
one
right.
little thing
Right.
decomposed an entire strategy.
Already a little bit of damage there coming out for both teams. Flashland taking some shots. Executus and J-Smooth on the side of some Tigers taking some damage as well here. DNA, so they're kind of going head-to-head right now against Simple Tankers right in the center of the map, being divided between the north and the south. Simple Tankers holding north. DNA going to try to push from the south. They do have the M46 Pat in the back chat hanging out in the back. And J2, J3 area you guys can see there in the mini-map. And we have J-Smooth and that RU251 kind of getting those spotting damage. Now, looking at that RU251, DNA has spotted him out, so they know he's there. Is he a big threat? Do you send a guy to go get him? Or do you just kind of
Both teams are doing pretty textbook stuff. So they've got a 1 through 3 line stalemate. And then whoever is able to rotate around the opponent faster is going to win. J-Smooth's coming down here to make sure he can get lights on anybody who's coming across so that the rest of the team can shoot him. Like Putin right now. Putin's trying to make sure he can get the eastern side. Trust me, it looks like an exciting moment here for Putin. It's going to be a very quick kill.
Oh, there we go. Jay doing 2 shots. There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Putin taking him down,
So
just like you said.
Now DingNA has huge advantage. Coffee Thief is there to actually shut down Ding and make sure they do it. Ding needs to take as many tanks as they can to get Coffee Thief out of their way so they can get rotation around to the side of Simple Tankers to bottle Simple Tankers in 25% of the map. Simple Tankers needs to recognize that they are now at risk. Come down the 1-2 line and try and get DingNA in rotation
Right now.
with side shots right now, or the lines start to reset, and while they are in favor of DingNA, it doesn't necessarily mean that DingNA won. Coffee Thief pulling closer to the rest of his team gives DingNA more room to move, but the faster he can get closer to them, the longer he will survive, because he's dead no matter what where he is now.
There it is.
And let's see if he can escape here. Papa Dijon, single shots, no autoloader, so it's going to be a little bit tricky. It's going to be hard to get a kind of a track shot in that particular area. Looks like Coffee Thief is going to kind of sashay away. Probably slip down and into the backfield pretty soon, but a lot of damage coming out on Simple Tankers.
Yeah, Flak taking 686 there in that IS-7. Executive still from the beginning. Coffee Thief with another shot there. Unknown one took some damage, trying to pop out. Looks like maybe trying to cover for that STB1 as they were moving back in. So overall, Simple Tankers down about 700 points of HP against DingNA here. It'll be interesting to kind of... Actually, sorry, over 1,000 points of HP against DingNA. So yeah, a huge advantage there.
Look how much
coming
map
out.
control DingNA has now. And Simple Tankers,
he's
they're
up in the
going to
top.
try and do the one-line rush, but they're doing
Oh,
it late. So now
no.
Romstar's going to get in a boatload of damage. DingNA is set up and ready to support the 2 STBs. So unless they can dive and take out the 2 STBs very, very quickly, Simple Tankers are going to bleed a lot of HP for this move and put the map even further back into DingNA's hands. But Romstar already moved ahead of time, and that's going to be a big problem.
Oh, man, look at that. He is getting out on the way through. Coffee Thief taking the shot there, coming up to the top. Romstar going 728 points of damage. Executive's taking 805. One more shot from Romstar. Looks like Executives is going to go for the ram. I'm not sure if that was a shot or not, but he's going to be going down to Scoopra. So a 1-for-1 exchange there in that battle. Pride, though, now looks like he's going to be isolated. Scooper, though, taking a lot of damage as well. 471, one more shot. He's going to go down too. Pub Whisperer going to pick that one up, and now it is Pride who is still alive. Flash, and looks like he's been sent to finish off that STB1. He does not get a shot off in time, and Pub Whisperer is going to take him down. It is now a 4-on-5 in favor now of Simple Tankers. DingNA, though, it does have the HP advantage, so we'll see if they can make that, equate that to a lead. Jan Toronto, 755 points of damage there. Master Putin finding Coffee Thief. Darth Vader taking so much damage. He barely slips out of there in that M46 Patton, though he is still spotted. Unknown one has the sight set on him. 364. Will Unknown one go down before? Yes, he does. Master Putin takes down the IS-7, which is going to allow Darth Vader to stay alive. Jan Toronto being surrounded now by Pride, Flak, and Pub Whisperer. They are all super low. It is now 2v3. Master Putin, though, has one more shot, and he takes a shot into Pub, does not finish him off, and he is now on the run. He is not going to make it out there, and this is going to be Simple Tankers with the victory, as one more shot is going to finish off Darth Vader there. He might be able to slip out. Flak, no. Stein Pride is going to finish him off there, and that is going to be Simple Tankers picking up a victory against DingNA, which, again, we were talking about, it looked like that would have been Ding's shot. That looked like that was totally in Ding's hands. Master Putin, even like you said at the end, he was up in the north. I didn't even see him rotate all the way around there. He's coming around from the back. It's got to be frustrating.
110% spaghetti. Honestly.
Really?
Just the IS-7, Jan Toronto, moving up where he was, put the entire strategy at risk. Then I believe it was Flashland came over. No, maybe it was Papa Dijon. One of the tanks came over to try and support Jan Toronto, but Jan Toronto wasn't pushed up enough to support him. So he took most of the damage that should have been Toronto, and they should have just let Toronto die. There's a lot of different things. I think Putin also had a number of bounces in his bat chat. There at the end, he could have driven away, let the Patton kind of flex on those guys down there, put on some cap pressure, pull them back. That was winnable up until Putin died.
Right.
Let's go to stats while we can.
Check it out.
Sad. It was just so many different times WGLNA had to win that one, and they didn't get it done. Flak with 3,000 the I-7, Pride with 2,700, Tub Whisper with 2,700. All those guys, let's check out their accuracy rates. Well, pretty good. Pretty darn good. And then over here for WGLNA,
A lot of damage.
a lot of damage, but they didn't get them on. I mean, everybody for Simple Tankers there was one shot. One shot.
Right.
No matter what.
Right.
A
So
one,
if,
or
as I
a
said,
ram,
if Master
anything.
Putin had the,
So there's a Putin could have held up in the bushes in the one line. I mean, I could talk about all the different hypotheticals that you could do, and this map in particular for me is one that we used to play a lot back in like seasons 1 and 2. So I know a lot of different things that could have been done there.
Gotcha.
It's rough for me to watch. It's a hard map though. This is a map that a lot of teams will, especially as the meta develops, they'll shy away from. It's easier now with attack and defense, but it's still a hard map to play, especially in the western side.
All right, well, we'll see if WGLNA can either come back from what they just tried to do, or Simple Tankers can continue to tie it up against. It's 2-3 now, still in favor of WGLNA. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks. Now,
I'll have to amend that. It's not just the western side, it's the eastern side as well. It's a hard map to play anytime both teams go the same side.
Gotcha.
When they go opposite sides, it's pretty easy.
Okay.
Anyways, Simple Tankers with 2 I-7s, a T-22, 2 TVP T5051s.
Jeez.
An AMX-30 and a Skoda. WGLNA with an I-7, a
Skoda.
Bat Chat, a 142 STBs, and 2 M46 patents.
Maybe in chat right now or tweet at us, let us know what we should call the TVP T5051. We should call it the 5051.
It's the Terrans versus Protoss T50 out of 51. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll say that
Anyways.
super quick. One of the things that we were talking about, how when you go kind of head-to-head against both these teams, we had the stalemate between Simple Tankers and Ding in the last battle, and they sent their remaining members around to kind of either scout it out or kind of go to head-to-head. The RU-251 went up against a Bat Chat. So in hindsight, if you're Simple Tankers, you go, okay, I would do this, but this is who I'm probably going to meet against. That's something you would think you generally ahead about?
Yeah, so what you kind of want to do is you want to get somebody with vision who can see anybody crossing down there. You post them up in, say, like the E6 place. Now, Coffee Thief had the potential to do something like that. Or J Smooth could have done it as RU-251 and sent Coffee Thief down the 7 line, so that if Coffee runs into anybody, he's actually a stronger, better tank for it. Scouts like that, sometimes it's good to have them be the one that takes the risk, and sometimes it's just good to have them be the one that stands off and snipes from a far distance, because you're still only allocating a low amount of resources to do it, but he's a better tank to snipe with than to have a head-to-head with a Bat Chat.
Okay, sure.
Not that, a 140, or sorry, an STB is particularly, well, an STB in a head-to-head with a Bat Chat with an RU-251 backing you up, that's winnable. It's winnable.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just kind of,
So switch him around.
So,
It was pretty much
there's even mind games in who you would send to go for that rotation when you get into those situations of the state.
Yeah, it's risk and reward, and what you absolutely need to send that way, you know, and what he could possibly run into is another thing that's always kind of constantly in your head. Right now, Simple Tanker's getting stuffed. Not really getting stuffed, but scoping out the one line, it wasn't favorable. A little bit of damage gone out to WGLNA, so nice pickup there from Simple Tankers, essentially getting a rotate for free. And now they're going to move around the eastern side. There is a chance they can get Papa out of position, but he still has a lot of room to run. But they're surrendering every inch they just took to go hard east. So I'm guessing a 2-cap, trying to make WGLNA come over to them slowly and take damage the whole way there.
Gotcha. All right, well, it looks like WGLNA is now rotating as they have spotted out Flak in that I-7. I'm not sure who got that spot, but a little bit of information coming out there for it. WGLNA. Scoopra and everyone else kind of starting to rotate now over to the east, over to that 2-cap. And again, this is going to be kind of, it's like you fight on one side of the railroad, you fight on the other, because it's so hard and so dangerous to cross this railroad once you have an enemy team kind of set up and waiting. Now those two IS-7s are both spotted out. Papa Dijon taking the shot underneath the railroad track, which like it was so good to learn that was like something you could, you know, again, that you can just do it super accurately. Well, that one actually not quite low enough, going right into the gas cans. Pride taking some shots there. This is going to start destroying anything there, as we sound to see Unknown One and Coffee Thief pushing forward. Ding has not crossed yet the railroad tracks. They do know right now what Simple Tankers is doing, as J-Smooth is starting to put cap pressure on a shot. They're going through their 353 coming out there from Romstar and the M46 Patton. He's doing a good job getting those resets. Now, David, looking at here, you know, the red indicator by Flak, what is that? It looks like the 3 ammo. Is that his ammo rack? He's dead.
That had to have been the gunner. Actually.
The gunner.
Or sorry, the loader.
The loader. All right, well, it doesn't matter now as he has been taken out. So that is a tank there falling already for Simple Tankers. WGLNA doing a great job finding a lot of damage just on multiple units. Pub Whisper taking some shots. Unknown One taking another shot there. We had J-Smooth taking some damage there as he tried to put some cap pressure on. And now up on the top, Executives. Looks like they're going to go hard. Simple Tankers just trying to take down Romstar. They're putting 3 members to take down this M46 Patton. It looks like it might not be worth it. They do pick him up there, but they took so much damage for it. Executives 302 in that 50-51. Now 686, having to back up, trying to get out of there alive. Looks like he is just going to get on the other side. And now it is Simple Tankers trying to respawn, but 7,800 points of damage, or 7,800 HP for WGLNA against 3,600 for Simple Tankers. J-Smooth just barely holding on there with his life. A lot of damage are going on to Scooper there. 945 in that SV1. Pub Whisper lets his final shot go. He's not on the autoloader, so he's going to take one more shot there. He might be able to take Scooper down. 320 goes into him, and now one more shot. Scooper looking for a flash. Going to try to ram him to take him down. Scooper, though, does finish off Pub Whisper right before he goes down himself. And now Pride and Yandronda going head-to-head. There's a shot from Pride missing. Finally, the second one. Going to finish him off. Papa Jean, meanwhile, taking down another member. And Simple Tankers just has 4 members alive against the 5 of WGLNA. Flashland finds Pride. Darth Vader and Papa Jean taking down J-Smooth and Unknown One. And that is now just going to be Coffee Thief alive and, well, taking down Darth Vader. Papa Jean waiting for that shot, looking through, backing up, lining up, looking for the side. Will he get it? Will it count? Coffee Thief looks at him. Papa Jean going to clean that one up. And that is going to be WGLNA with their 4th victory of the night against Simple Tankers there. Looking kind of how that one started out. Again, like you said, Simple Tankers decided to give up everything that they worked for over in the West. It was kind of like that same stalemate, but a little further back. It wasn't a spread in the center. They were kind of bunched up. They waited a while. Like, all right, now we're going to do this. We're going to go. If WGLNA, because it looked like the rotation for Ding really didn't matter that much, or maybe it did, but I mean, they got to their positions, but they still, I mean, there wasn't like, I didn't see any like crazy, oh, they should have got there just the right time, or I thought they could have even taken a longer because the positions they were at, Simple Tankers didn't really fight them for it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, the rotation, Simple Tankers' rotation didn't necessarily matter to WGLNA.
Yeah.
Right. In fact, it actually favorably improved everything. Had somebody been left on the 1-2 line, had that been played in more of a map control style to control all of that terrain that Ding would have had to go to get into the 2-cap, and then just put something light in the 2-cap to cause any sort of pressure, it would have been a better strategy for Simple Tankers. As it was, Simple Tankers rotated. WGLNA saw them rotate. Right. Once they saw those IS-7s come out, they were like, oh, well, we go on this whole side of the map. So they rotated almost faster to where Simple Tankers were going than Simple Tankers did. And they got a lot of shots out of it. Simple Tankers were looking for kind of a head-to-head brawl. Let's look at stats while we talk about this. All right. They were looking for kind of a head-to-head brawl, as indicated by a lot of these autoloaders, but they never really got it. They didn't find their avenue, and over the sustained, just the shots, the tanks that WGLNA brought were better for this. I mean, Putin, he didn't really get in a whole lot of damage when he rotated all the way in the south, but he was a problem that forced Simple Tankers to do all sorts of stuff. You can see the numbers there. Papa Dijon taking in the lead, and Coffee Thief leading for Simple Tankers, but just better positional play, better lineup, for how the game was played, not objectively, but for how that battle transpired, and great instincts from WGLNA. Like I said, probably the most improved team in this period of time that I've seen in WGLNA.
And they're showing it right now as they are just one more victory away from taking the first match of the night against Simple Tankers. Can they do it right now, or can Simple Tankers come back? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
For Simple Tankers trying to stay alive on defense, 2 IS-7s, an Object 140, 2 STBs, a T-22, and an RU-251.
bringing it back.
WGLNA, an IS-7 and E5, a Bat Shadow 140, an STB, and 2 M46 patents. And those patents, I'm biased.
Are you like it or not?
I love them. I love that tank anyways. So I just kind of wanted to see it really work. And it's just such a great tank for Tier 9. And I generally favor more of the double Tier 9s than the Tier 8, depending on the map. It's just got more sustainability.
Sure.
Once you nuke that Tier 8, you catch them in rotation or something, you've got a significant advantage. Whereas if you just had a Tier 8 and you picked off their Tier 8, well, now you've got a Tier 8 advantage, which isn't as significant. It's kind of talking in circles there, but the nuances make sense, trust me.
All right, here, Master Putin now going very aggressive for Jason. Pops up, takes a shot, and just barely gets down in time. A beautiful little play there coming out for Master Putin. Kind of knowing what he was about to expect, going up, taking the shot, getting down without taking a single point of damage there. It looked like, for a second, I thought J-Smooth was about to die. I thought he was going to drive right into Master Putin, but he wisely turns around, now kind of going over the north end of the railroad tracks to try to find maybe a shot here coming into this bat chat. But Putin is on the run. Meanwhile, again, looks like we've got that kind of stalemate happening right in the center of the map over on the west side. We've got a couple of team members back, but this time they're sending the Simple Tinker sending the T-22 kind of away as well to join J-Smooth here. Some damage there coming out. Or shots, I should say. No damage yet. And David, looking at kind of what this T-22, the R2F1 for Simple Tinkers is going to be doing, what are they going to be looking for? Are they just purely right now scouting? Are they going to try to find Ding Scout?
He's got a T-22 that is now moved to B6. You can see it there in the minimap. And he is backing up J-Smooth. So J-Smooth is trying to get on the hill all the way over here in the 0 line, where he can then fire down into where Putin just was, or anybody else who's roughly roughly a quarter into the 5 line east, depending on where J-Smooth goes. The further west on this hill that he goes, kind of where we're flying over, the better shots he'll have, but the more likely he'll get spotted and shot out. So he can get free damage, is what he's doing.
Free damage
Map
is
control
good.
and free damage, and they're taking very little risk to get it. Pub Whisper and the T-22 is in a place we can take a look at. He's in a place that's, well, actually, okay, he's backing into a place where it's tricky to get damage on him. It's hard to shoot underneath those cars from a distance. And if Putin is in the wrong place and he tries to have a head-to-head with Pub Whisperer over here, it's very likely going to get wombo comboed by a T-22 and an RU-251 at the same time. But Putin himself starting to drive over here, and he has caught J-Smooth dead to rights in one of the only places that Pub can't really support.
Oh my gosh, how unfortunate for J-Smooth here. One shot going through, and it looks like Master Putin again is going to take him. No, backing off.
That shot landed just on the other side of that building, and Putin's deciding, I got what I wanted here. I'm not going to take any more risks, so he's going to back off. What this does herald for the rest of WGLNA is if they take everything they've got and dump it into the 1-2, they'll win. They know there are 2 tanks in the east. They're already looking like they're gearing up to rotate.
Oh, so true.
If they can find that overmatch and they hit their shots, they win.
Well, let's see if they can, as they are putting those M46 patents starting to move toward the north slowly but surely. But still in the middle, Scooper, Jan Toronto, and Flash, and still kind of waiting back and forth, just really kind of popping up, taking a shot, and not a single point of damage there going onto either of the teams. And they're actually sending Scooper over toward Master Putin, and now Papa DeJean. They're sending 3 members over onto the eastern side. David, are they going to go for are they just going to try to overmatch on this side of the railroad tracks?
Yeah, they're going to take these 2 and trying to have a head-to-head, and then they're going to make sure the T-22 can't flex over to the west.
Nice track.
STB all the way back there on the tracks. It could work. I could argue a lot about whether it's a safer option, but it could work.
Well, we will see if it works out right now, because it looks like he's getting in position. J-Smooth and the R251 is going to start laying down cover fire for Pub Whisperer. They've now actually isolated J-Smooth as Pub Whisperer having to back off. So now Master Putin knows he's over there, and he's just going to find him and take him out.
Not safe. Smooth is not
there
safe.
There it is. He is now spotted close enough there to the bushes. 393 and 1 more shot for Putin, and that is going to ruin that RU-251 again. We saw this from WGLNA last time. They still didn't win. It got super close. So we'll see. Again, a lot of different positions, though. We'll see if these new positions are better for them.
Now there are 2 in A6, and these options in the West just get better and better.
For WGLNA.
I mean, those patents are force multipliers in that instance. Once they show up and they get hulled down kind of in that area, you can penetrate that turret, but good luck going head-to-head DPM-wise, but we've already got a 2v2, and I believe Putin is reloading, so Papa Dijon essentially going 1-on-2 right now.
Well, let's see if he can stay alive long enough for Putin to be able to have his shots up. Papa Dijon, 634 points of damage. One more shot, two more possibly, and he might be going down. There's the one. Here comes the two from Pop Whisperer, and that is going to be the finishing off there just in time. Master Putin, though, is reloaded, and he's trying to take the shots there onto Executus. Coffee Thief come to join him in that STB1. Pop Whisperer is still alive and safe. Meanwhile, we have Executus in the 140 taking more damage. It looks like from Scoopra who's coming to join him. And
It's a trap.
we have some more damage. Coffee Thief taking some shots here. Flash on 516 the E5 in the battle over in the E4, E3 area also is taking place. Two fights on this map. Who is going to come on top? Will it be Simple Tankers? Will it be DNA for their final 1,400 points of damage? They're going into Romstar in that M46 patent. Unknown one, though, getting lit up. Beautiful focus by Rim. Romstar looks he might be able to stay alive if he can go down. Romstar taking down Unknown one. There it is, Coffee Thief gonna finish him off there, but now Flak being surrounded. Scooper has to be careful though. One more shot, he's gonna get on Flak's shot. No, the Jan Toronto looks like he's about to get a shot onto Flak there, which will finish him off. That IS-7 taking down the IS-7. Darth Vader taking a lot of damage, dropping way below half in that M46 patent. Flash Sun finds Executus there in that Object 140, and now just 3 tanks remain for Simple Tankers, 4 for DNA. Now this is kind of what we saw last time. I mean, Simple Tankers still are in, they're in the lead HP-wise. Putin does have 3 shots if he can maybe take down Publisher, but he does take a shot there. His shot misses. That is a huge miss coming out from that bat jet. One does go into Publisher. There's a 316 going to him, and he is going to be able to finish that one off. Now he is on the reload, so he's got to get out of there. Coffee Thief is chasing him down, though. Pride starting to run back as well, but the IS-7, Jan Toronto as well. No, it looks like it's just going to be Jan Toronto putting the cap pressure on for Simple Tankers. They know that this is kind of in their favor as far as bringing Simple Tankers to them, because there's only a minute and 17 seconds on the clock. And again, if the time runs out without DNA having capped or taken down all members of Simple Tankers, that would be Simple Tankers' win since they are on defense here. 30 seconds, though, on the clock, and it looks like Pride and Coffee Thief aren't even going to try. They're just looking for Putin right now, who is almost reloaded, and there it is. He's got the reload. Waiting for it. One shot going to Pride. Coffee Thief coming trying to find him. He's doing a good job just hiding in the bushes, but Coffee Thief should be able to see him any second now. 20 seconds on the clock. There it is. He turned his turret. No, he turned it in the wrong moment because Coffee Thief comes around the corner and picks him up. 14 seconds on the clock. Pride might be able to come over and take a shot, though. He is spotted the whole way through. He's going to try to find Flashland in that E5. Darth Vader, he actually lets his shot go onto Darth Vader, who wasn't even putting cap pressure on. Now 3, down to 2. It's going to be Coffee Thief. 0 seconds. The shot not going through, and that is going to be DNA with their 5th and final victory, closing out our first match of the night, 5-2. Against Simple Tankers. Whew. What an amazing match. Again, this is one we thought we possibly might be going longer, but DNA, like you said, such improvement. Just showing amazing plays.
Great decision there at the end for their 2 tanks on cap not to fire. So you may have saw the STB there had one final shot to try and get a reset, and he shot the tank that was coming up and over. It was the only person he could see. He could probably have logicked out where that shot is, or at least tried to get a reset. But either way, great play there from DNA to bring it home. And we don't really need to go to stats. We'll just say Putin leads that with 37-56.
Got him on my team.
A lot. Got him. Flashland with 2290. Pub Whisperer with 2600.
All right, there it is. Again, a fantastic, exciting match you're watching. DNA versus Simple Tankers. Congratulations to DNA for picking that one up. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our first match. Match number 2 is coming right up after this break.